fucking retard!
PSGL is back, and this time we're racing around Imola. With the narrow nature of the track, chaos is sure going to unfold in today's race. As you know, I was pretty sick the whole week leading up to this race, so practice will be minimal going into the quali and the race as well. Still, we're here. Let's see what we can do. Try to make something happen.
Now, it's very unusual for me to show up without practice, because as they say, practice makes perfect. But at Imola, especially after the LiDAR update, a lot of the track limits have moved, so any previous muscle memory you might have had on the track, it's just down the drain. And unfortunately, on my outlap, I moved out of the way a little bit too late, giving the kick dirtier into the chicane and ruining his lap. So yes, that one was my fault. But it does mean that we will be having a qualifying ban going into next week's race. However, we have to focus on the lap at hand right now, because we've been invalidated the first lap, and on the second lap, we're improving quite a lot actually. 4 tenths, 5 tenths coming into the final sector, 6 tenths even. Now you might think this is a mega lap.
So far.
However,
decent.
That was only because the last lap was absolutely dog shit, and across the line it's only P12. It's not looking good. It's starting to look like as if we had a Q ban. Nonetheless, we still got one shot, and I plan to make the most of it. Onto the final lap of the session now. With 40 seconds to go, we cross the start-finish line, heading into turn 1, riding the inside curve there to reduce the distance. Braking at the 100-meter board, you have to be on edge with the track limits, which we did not manage to do, because you can cut quite a lot on those curves there. Nonetheless, we are 500s up and through the chicane a little wide on exit, and that is going to compromise all of the progress we've made so far. Getting a little out of the hairpin, but still not very ideal. We're not gaining a lot of time. And now we make our way towards the technical part of the track. Throwing the car in, have to be on edge, but still, it's just a little under the limit, a little underwhelming. Through Aqua Mineralis, decent speed, but it's not good enough. And through the chicane, how hard can we send it? Pretty hard, but a little unsettled as well, but we do get back on power beautifully, and that matches our previous lap. But I was hoping that I could maybe do better than that. Into the final corners, 2 corners to go, right the inside curve to rotate, and missing the apex a little bit, but still, we gain on exit, and across the finish line, it is going to be only 1:13.7, which was almost a whole second from pole. But it doesn't matter. Moving on to the race, let's see what we can do here. Starting P13th on the mediums, and I've opted to go for a very, very aggressive setup with very low downforce to hopefully go for some daring overtakes in the race. Off the line, it's a great start. We get a good run on the McLaren, but we get boxed in with the Ferrari in front, so there's nothing we can do right now. And the Williams goes down the inside, and I'm trying to keep my front wing safe here. A little touchy in front, and they collide! And that was literally inches from our face. Don't mind me, because that's a free position. And with the safety car out now, it's going to help us manage our mediums towards our pit window. As we go racing again, some people have decided to box for a fresh set of hards. Maybe going for one stop or maybe a second stop later on in the race. And I opted to stay out because the mediums are still quite fast right now. And onto the restart, I'm gonna burn a lot of my battery here because look at that straight line speed. It's absolutely ridiculous how much overspeed we got compared to the Aston Martin. And thank you very much. That is a free position. But now there's another problem. It appears both cars in front of me have disconnected. And I don't know if this is desync or am I desynced, but they are not ghosted. And this makes things very tricky because the AI can be very unpredictable at times, and the last thing we want right now on lap 5 out of lap 32 is to lose our front wing, and they're fighting each other here, both DRS wide open, and again, I get boxed in, but I know the AI's one weakness. They brake super early, so I go deep on the brakes, and we managed to make the move stick. Another 2 positions gained. Now, moving on to the Haas in front, he's in P6, but the safety car comes out on lap 6.
I've never seen a chaotic race such as this.
A crossroads in our race, and most people, if not all, decide to box for a fresh set of hards. And I suspect a lot of them are gonna try to go to the end on the same set of hards. with the heightened tire wear in the F125, it is going to be very difficult. And on the restart on lap 8, a little slide out of the last corner. But like I said, we have insane straight line speed, and there's nothing the car behind us can do unless we make a huge mistake. We might not be the fastest car in the corners, but we are impossible to overtake. There are some old hard runners in front, and I was wishing to really get past Alberto in front because he seems to be struggling quite a bit, but most people are using their overtake button quite a lot on the straights, and you can see the Red Bull behind can barely close on us because of the straight line speed advantage. And right now, I just want to sit in the train, wait for an opportunity to go for moves,
yeah, we actually got
nurse my tires because I know I would need to do it. However, in just a second, you will see why Imola is one of the hardest tracks on the calendar, because Alberto has gotten his first 3-second warning of the race, and he seems to be struggling quite a bit, actually. I think Alberto is a new reserve in F7 because I haven't really seen his name in the first few races, but on lap 12 he starts flashing halfway down the straight, and I decide to go for it around the outside into the braking zone, and we move up to P8. Actually, we don't, because Alberto has gone deep on the brakes and we have collided, and that has given us damage for the rest of the race. Very not ideal, and I let the Red Bull go here because, yeah, fighting him would just be a loss of time for both of us. With around 20 laps to go, it is going to be very difficult. Do I limp, hoping for a safety car, or do we just box now and push flat out to the end?
Only a safety car will bring us back now.
Very difficult decision. And I opted to stay out, even though we will be lacking a lot of pace on track, and the Ferrari in front has finally decided to go into the box, and that's a free position for us. We'll move up to P9. But on lap 20, I decided to
lose 5 seconds
go in and put on a fresh set of hards plus a wing change to go to the end. Because at that point, the car just wasn't really turning. We're losing too much pace. Now, with 12 laps to go, can we claw our way back into the points? Because P9 and P10 are about 12 seconds away. But you will see in just a second how much of a difference a fresh set of tires can make. After just 5 laps, we've already closed the gap down to 8 seconds. That's 4 seconds gained after 5 laps. Nearly a second a lap that we're gaining to the car in front. However, one of the leaders just boxed, and he's on a fresh set of hards, and I was hoping that maybe he could pull me along, but he's just too fast. And the fresh set of hards, the tire differential, was too big for me to hold on, but we are down to 6 seconds to the Williams in front in P8. I was hoping maybe if I could get within that 3-second window, we could somehow finish P9, get another point, and I'm pushing as hard as I can, sending the car into the corner, draining all of my battery. But we have to be careful because at this point, I was already on 2 warnings with only 1 lap to go. The gap is 3.7 seconds. I just need to gain 7 tenths to Marcos to get into P8. But would you look at that? An Alpine who has had a puncture. One of the leaders has punctured, and that moves us up to P9. And on the last lap, it is going to be 5 tenths with only 2 corners to go. Can we send it in these last 2 corners? How hard can we do it? Out of the last corner, the rears want to kick out, but the gap is 1/10 up to the finish line. Is it going to be enough? Oh! Unfortunately not.
1/10. Oh my god, man. Not ideal, I say. Very not ideal. We did good avoiding the chaos on the opening laps, but after that, it's just unlucky. But that's just racing sometimes. We get our head down and we focus on the upcoming round, which will be at Silverstone, Great Britain. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to subscribe so you never miss out on any of my PSGL adventures. This is Formula Kai signing off, and I'll see you very soon. Bye-bye.